And good morning to you. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick. To my right, we got Corey.
Yo, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning, Corey. How you doing today?
What's up with the shirt, dude? I didn't get the memo.
You did get the memo. You just didn't listen.
Okay, I did get the memo, but I cannot fit any of those collared shirts until I go to the gym. So yeah.
Well, we got a lot to get to today. One of the things we're going to get to is why I'm wearing a shirt with buttons. It's awkward for me, but we here. This is where we at, Corey.
This is where we're at.
But yeah, lots of stuff to talk about. The MHSAA is back on. We got some Lions talk coming up in the show. Obviously, we got to talk about what went around in the country yesterday.
Oh,
and then we got some funny stories with a naked UFC fighter, which is a good one.
Yeah, I seen that. That was rather interesting.
And coach at Notre Dame arrested for felony, what was he? Voyeurism. Felony voyeurism. So we're going to talk about that coming. Lots of stuff to talk about today. Like I said, my name is Stick. This is the Morning Wood Show. Producer Cam today and Mike. We have our intern Alex. He's over there.
What up,
Adam
Alex?
is coaching him up on that. And then, of course, Mr. Fish in the house. Hi, Fish. How you doing? We're going to bring him up on Joey's mic today because Joey is gone.
He dipped.
He out of here, man. He went to Mexico.
What?
Joey went to Mexico.
He didn't get the. Okay, look now. Okay, first off, I hear that he went on vacation and know about it, and I was already mad about that. But
Right.
now he goes to Mexico, and I'm a tequila drinker. He didn't allow me to give him any money. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the good news is now that we don't have to pay Joey this morning, let's do what we did like a month ago. If you share this post this morning, you're eligible to win $100. We'll just draw a $100 winner at the end of the show.
Hey, that sounds nice.
So we're gonna do that again today because we don't have to pay Joey and his huge salary.
See, Joey, we're taking your money and giving it out.
And giving it to you, the people. So share this post right now for your chance at $100. And yeah, we'll pull that name right at the end of the show. So make sure you get involved. It's for everybody. It's real simple. Tag your friends. Let them know they can win. All they got to do is share this post, whether it's on Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook Live right now. And shout out to everybody checking in. Jenna, Lynn, Charlie, Greg, and the normal Woodies that are in the chat.
Shout out, Jen. I think I just found out yesterday we and her share the same birthday when I mentioned my birthday. So
that's awesome.
She was already cool before, but she's even more cool now.
All right, Corey, enough with the formalities and nice friendly handshake. What the fuck happened to our country yesterday? What is going on? I mean, me and you get to have a real honest conversation because we've known each other, what, like 3 months?
Yeah.
But I feel like we've grown a rapport with each other to where you can be honest with me, I can be honest with you. We don't always agree, but I think we're both sensible human beings at the end of the day. So that's why we're able to have these types of conversations. So yesterday during the Pistons pregame, we got notice that the Celtics were postponing walking on the court.
Right.
And at first, we didn't know what it was for. We thought it was for the disruptive nature of what was going on at the Capitol building.
Yeah, and I read it. I'm like, well, what the hell are y'all protesting the Capitol for? That ain't got nothing to do with us.
And that was my takeaway. Like, it's like, okay, so why are they doing this? And then you fast forward to the Pistons-Bucks game, and they all take a knee. And then you come to find out that has nothing to do with the Capitol building.
Right.
That was more about Jacob Blake. He was shot. Was that Kenosha, Wisconsin?
Yeah, Kenosha, Wisconsin,
okay.
Last August.
And then the police officers didn't get charged in the shooting.
They did not.
They did not. And that's what everybody in the NBA was upset with. And then you package it on what happened at the Capitol building yesterday.
Yeah, it was like the Capitol. If the Capitol thing just happened on a separate day, I think we just go on as business. But adding on top of that verdict or that the news came out, it was just kind of like, oh, what the hell?
Like almost the straw that broke the camel's back of the camel's back that's been broken for 200 years.
Yeah, because the police brutality, unarmed black men being killed at the hands of police officers and just being upfront, predominantly white police officers, it's gotten out of hand. And then you put on the fact of that with the Capitol thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be real. I didn't see any black people out there. And they took over the Capitol armed, and me and a few of my friends talked about it. We just like, we could not help but think if that had been us,
right,
we would have been shot dead, because there have been some of us who have been shot dead and arrested during peaceful protests.
See, now that's where I kind of got to disagree with you. And that's because, like, you know, over this past year, we've seen protests in Portland. We've seen them in Seattle. And a lot of those, you know, we saw the CHOP, the whole area that was dedicated towards the Black Lives Matter movement. And they let them do their thing. It's not like they came in there with armed guards shooting everybody. And so I understand how perception-wise you can see that, and you can kind of put that thought into it. But to me, I don't know if that would happen. And I've seen protests with black men with guns walking down the street, and nothing happened to them because they're obeying the law, and it's part of our culture and part of what we are as Americans to be able to do that, like an open carry. So to me, it's just a really weird, it's been a really weird state, but I have a rough time judging these things separately. You know, like, to me, I've had a lot of friends that were okay with what happened in the CHOP in Portland, and, you know, business is getting burnt down and business owners getting torn from their shop and beaten, all for the name of what it doesn't really have anything to fucking do with when you get down to the core of it. And we were having this conversation, what was it, yesterday, and it's not always black people, it's white people trying to, like, think they're helping black people by hurting black people, in my opinion.
It's really difficult to talk about because you have to understand that you come from a different background, and I also come from a different background, so we're going to have different perspectives on it. So,
and I respect your perspective, and I like to learn from your perspective.
And I can only speak from my truth.
Right.
And you can only speak from your truth. And from my truth, it's like just what I said earlier. I can only help but feel that way because of the situations that I've personally been in. I mean, just even last week, and I believe I posted about it on Facebook, I just randomly walk out the liquor store and I have lights shined in my face asking me, do I have guns on me?
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that because you that was at 7 Mile in what, Livernois?
7 Mile in
Wyoming.
Yes, 7 Mile, Wyoming.
So right by my old college, University of Detroit. What up?
And white police officers in the squad cars have been going up and down the past couple of days, just randomly stopping people looking for guns. And I'm like, well, you went to, they stopped me.
Illegal?
It was basically stop and frisk.
Yeah, that's not how we do things here.
And I walk, and you know, what happened was I went to the store, I left my cash in the car. So I walk out, go to the car, and the police officer yelled like, hey, and I'm like, what's up?
Right.
He said, okay, go. All right, whatever. Go in there, get my card, go in there, get my money, go back in the store, come back out of the store, lights in my face. Hey, what are you up to?
And what were you up to, Corey?
Leaving the store.
What'd you get, like, some health food and you were out the door?
I just got an orange juice and some water.
What are you doing getting orange juice on a Tuesday?
And
damn, man.
No orange juice on Tuesdays.
And he said, well, do you have any guns on you? Do you have a CPL on you?
Yeah.
I seen you go in your car and come back out. I'm like, no, I ain't got no gun on me. What's
What were you doing?
What's the issue? He said, oh, we have we've been hearing that somebody's been out here walking around with a gun, and I'm like, isn't it open carry?
Yeah.
So then as I get into the car, the cop just pulls up on me, pauses, looks in, and then speeds off before I can even get a plate.
Right.
So I don't know if that was intentional how they sped off or what, but this is not my first rodeo with it. So again, for me, I have a different perspective of it because, yes, I've seen instances where white people have been arrested and actually shot by the police because they've been actually on the front lines with us. I've definitely seen it.
And there's situations like the Tony Tempa incident that happened across the country where it's not just unarmed black men that are getting shot. You know, to me, I listened to a great interview the other day about a guy who trains police officers. He travels the country to train police officers, and one of his statements was, the reason we're having so many of these unarmed shootings is because a lot of these police officers that are joining the force have never been in a fight. Like they've never been fist to fist.
And
me
all
and
of
you.
all of those officers I see get acquitted look like little frail, just guys who can't handle
But he's
themselves.
saying that's why they reach for lethal force before they should, because they don't know it. Like if you've ever been in a fight, you learn how much your body can take. Like I've taken punches to the face by 6 dudes in a fight, and so if I get in a fight with somebody, I know if it's just hand to hand, odds are I'm walking away.
Right.
If they're getting in the fight and their heart's jumping, they've never been in this situation, they may be getting their shit kicked in, but they don't realize they're going to walk away from that. They don't have to go directly to lethal force. And I thought it was fascinating that this dude travels the country training cops, and that's the one commonality he's noticing, is that this generation is just a bunch of fucking pussies.
Man, even then, just off of the police brutality part, it's nobody fights anymore. Everybody reaches for guns.
Right, yeah, and that's part of it because nobody wants to take the ass whooping anymore. And to me, unless you have your ass whooped at least once in your life, you're not a grown man. Like, you're not. We should all have our ass beat. I've had my ass beat on multiple occasions.
I've took an L before that I didn't want to,
right.
but it happens.
But you learn from it, and you learn like what you are as a man and how you bounce back from it. It humbles you. It teaches you what lanes not to take sometimes. And so, I mean, yesterday was just a weird day. We're watching here. We're trying to put up great online videos, funny content, but everything's getting pushed out by what happened at the Capitol building.
We walked in yesterday morning all hyped, like, oh, man, we can't wait to go ahead and share this. Everybody's going to love it, blah, blah, blah. And then, well, what the hell is this? Is this the effing movie?
It did look like a dude in a bear costume sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office, like people stealing podiums. Like that. Across the board, to me, protesting doesn't make sense. Like, to me, I'm about, like, finding a way to get in the system and make the changes. Like, the rah-rah is good for the people, but at the end of the day, it does nothing unless you change laws and change systems. So that's where I like to get into my fights. I don't love protesting for anything, whether it's, like you want dogs to have this right or whatever. I don't understand how breaking things and burning things for any cause helps push that cause forward.
Well, I'm mixed. I'm with protesting because I'm with bringing attention to issues.
Yes.
I'm not with destroying property or doing any type of vandalism or anything like that, because I believe when you protest and you bring attention to issues, you put pressure on governments and their lawmakers to do that.
Yeah, I can see that.
On the flip side of it, though, those people who are in office, they cannot ignore what they're seeing. And that's where you see a lot of those protests and a lot of the anger kind of come out, is because we're coming to you peacefully trying to show you what the problem is, and it seems like you're intentionally ignoring us. And I don't know anybody, black or white, who likes to be intentionally ignored.
No, nobody. And that's in life, just period. Whether you're, working here at Woodward Sports, all you want to do is be acknowledged.
Exactly.
And that's it, and appreciated. Just period. That's all anybody wants. Like when I hosted nightclubs, this is what I'd tell anybody who I'd train to host clubs after me is, this girl spent 40 fucking minutes getting ready. She spent it in the mirror. She sent pictures to her girlfriends to make sure she looked good for the night. All you have to do when she walks in the club is, hey, shout out to the girl in the pink dress, looking good. And you've made her entire night. All that effort was worth it to her now. She's noticed. She feels a part of it. And literally, it's the simplest shout out you can do on the mic, but it makes people feel great, and they come back because of that. So, yeah, when I was watching yesterday, it was just a really strange moment for the country. And, when the Black Lives Matter protests were going on, there were opportunists that were showing up to take advantage of those situations.
And those are the people that I have an issue with. I mean, if people are out there just peacefully protesting, trying to bring awareness, like I said, I have no problem with that. But the opportunists who try to go over to the top and try to create an issue, try to create more controversy than it already is, you're an ass.
And unfortunately, when you have protests, you give those people the power to do that. So that's why, protests to me are just really weird, because without A, there wouldn't be B, and we don't want B at all. Unfortunately, the only way to get rid of B is eliminate A. And we got to find that balance as a country. We got to find that balance just as people to have this conversation. It's not fucking hard.
Well, the thing about it is, this is just my personal opinion, I think a lot of people want to be offended. And
it becomes their identity.
It becomes like playing the victim becomes identity. Not saying black people are playing the victim in this situation, or white people are playing the victim in this situation of how we may feel about it. It's just that everybody wants to be offended by something, to the point that we cannot be able to find that balance, because in order to find balance, you have to be able to have a healthy discourse like right now. And I don't know if everybody's ready for that type of conversation.
Then they got to grow the fuck up. That's just pretty much it. Because they're really, to me, I try to treat, and I hope you feel this way, everybody in this room is equal. Like that's just what I believe, and that's how I'm going to treat everybody, period. Whether you're Fish, whether you're Corey, whether you're Adam, whether you're Alex. Like I hope none of you feel like when I walk in the room, like I treat anybody any different, because you're not any different. Like everybody in here is important. You're human beings. You have feelings, and it's crazy because like over this past year, I've lost some black friends because I treat everybody the same, and I don't want to give anybody a break either way. And sometimes some people look at that as me not being fair. But to me, the only way to be fair is to treat everybody equally across the board.
And I mean, I get it on my end too, because again, some of my friends might have an issue with me not going over the top like I normally could go. But again, I always tell them, like, I have a pretty diverse background.
Right.
Like I went to a predominantly white school, Ferndale High School, but at the same time, Ferndale High School is such a melting pot.
It is, yeah.
Where I've mixed and mingled with all races, and then I went to go work at Disney World. I mixed and mingled
You saw
with
the world.
I mixed and mingled with all races, so
Yeah.
I'm able to have these kind of conversations with anybody, and it's not everybody is.
And I honestly think that is the most important thing. And actually, Justin Spiro and I went on his podcast a couple years ago to kind of have this type of conversation. One of the questions was, what could we do to fix this? And I hate saying this, but forced integration. Like, to me, that's it. Because I feel like I'm able to have these comfortable conversations. Because my best friend since I was 4 years old is a black guy. We've had every black-white conversation you can imagine from the time we were 4 to today. We call each other. He lives in California. So we have different worldly perspectives, but we're the same good person at heart. But I grew up, you know, like another one of my best friends growing up was Chinese. Obviously, you know, like Adam's Lebanese. Like, we're lucky because in this Detroit area, it's such a melting pot. You know, we have the largest Arabic population outside of the Middle East. We have a huge Jewish population. We are, you know, Detroit is 80% black, but the surrounding areas.
The blackest city in the country.
Yep, and the surrounding areas are 35% black, which 8% is what black people make up in America, and our surrounding area is 35%. So we have more integration here in Detroit that I think allows us to have these better perspectives.
Right.
Like when I worked in Chicago, I went to a Common concert in Chicago. You know what Common is,
Yeah,
obviously,
of course.
right? And I love Common. Like, I grew up on Pharomonch, Common, like all the hardcore hip-hop guys. And literally, I was at the show. I was the only white guy there because Chicago is just so segregated. They don't have what we have here in Detroit, where you could show up to a club and it's an Indian popping bottles over there, Chaldean popping bottles over there, black guy, white guy. Like, that's how we party here in Detroit. Literally, a black girl walked up to me and goes, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I like Common." Like, that was my response. Like, what else would I be doing at a Common concert? But it was, to me, it was, you know, I've experienced reverse racism, but I don't give a shit about it. Sometimes in my life, like when I lived down at the Jeffersonian, right by Belle Isle, only white dude for miles. I
know that over by the Jeffersonian.
Yeah, and I go play hoops right there in Irma Henderson Park, and you know, like, dude, they clowned me because I was a white boy, but also if I did good on somebody, they clowned, like, you want to get dogged on a court as a black guy? Let me drain a 3 over your ass and hear it from the whole crowd. Like, they were calling me Billy Ho, they were calling me Darko, they were calling me Dirk, you know, like.
All right, look.
Yeah, they were calling me Darko.
Hey, if you would have got, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, just to go off subject, if that would have been me in your shoes and got called Darko, I would just have to take that L, that ass from everybody.
It was when he was a rookie, so we didn't know. I was
okay.
It was strictly to do with skin color, nothing to do with game.
I was gonna say, I would have took that ass whooping.
So, like, to me, I love that integration that we have as a city and the fact that we have so much culture here in Detroit and we're able to have these conversations. But if we need to solve this problem in America, like, to me, the only solution is, like, forceful integration.
And I just want to touch on one thing I didn't touch on about this whole thing. Me and my friend, I don't want to put his name out there. He's a black guy. We talked about it, and we honestly don't agree on a lot of the stuff when it comes to the recent strings of police brutality. We have differing views.
Right.
But the one thing that we agreed on yesterday is that yesterday, like when I believe a white woman was killed during the whole Capitol situation by the police or something like
yesterday?
that. Yeah, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see anybody of any other color getting hurt.
Right.
What we want to do is, in that situation, we would like to be policed as equals.
Yeah, as you should be. Like, I'll never argue against that, ever,
Yeah,
period.
it's not about like, oh, X, Y, and Z got killed by the police, so we want this white guy or a white woman to get a couple of police. No, we don't want that. No, that's not the way to go.
There are people that do want that,
there
though,
are
the tit-for-tat people, and those people are just as bad as the first time.
And those are the people that I just like, I personally can't rock with. But what I'm for is like, hey, if you're going to police X, Y, and Z white guy that way, police me the same way.
Yeah.
Don't treat me any differently.
Exactly. Just equality across. Like, it's really such a simple concept that for some reason some people just can't grasp. And I honestly think it goes back to unfamiliarity.
Yeah.
Like, if they just see you as a black man and not as Corey and not as somebody who, went to Ferndale High and has a career and busts his ass every day, like I see you, I can understand that, and vice versa. I can understand how, a black guy rolls up on a white guy. You just see him as a racist and all this stuff that he may not be at all.
And thing is, I've known racism has existed and prejudice has existed my whole life. I personally never dealt with it until I got to college because of the bubble. I don't know if anybody from Ferndale High went here. I think my friend Khadijah, she's in here. That bubble we were in, I don't think people understand unless you went to school there.
Okay.
There are still like interracial couples that are together from 20 years ago.
That's awesome.
It's like it's a true melting pot. It's like I had a friend who lived right across the street from the school. Whole bunch of big black guys walking in his house and eating food, and his parents were just like, "Hey, what up?" It's like we dealt with that, and I think this is where people are not able to have this conversation. We don't integrate enough because we've been. I feel we've been conditioned kind of to hate and do this crap to each other.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's just something, once again, if you're unfamiliar, it doesn't come naturally to you. And if it's something you grew up with, like, if you go to Arizona, there's no Chaldeans down there. It's all, Hispanics and coming up from Mexico and stuff like that. They don't have the minority issues we have here because they're very limited on their minorities.
Right.
But you come here, and like I said, we got the full spectrum of it. And I just feel so lucky that I was able to be born here and exposure to all the culture early in my life, because I love black culture. I love Motown music. I love soul food. Like, I love, I wore cross colors as a kid. Not trying to appropriate and be you, but that's just, I like it.
You like what you like.
I like it. Like, that's what I like. And luckily I was exposed to it early, and my parents were never the type to tell me, oh, no, you don't do that. And it's just, I don't know. Like, to me, exposure. Let's all get together, hold hands, and let's just have a big barbecue. Everybody likes barbecue.
Yeah. I mean, everybody like barbecue, but, we got to do something a little. We have to figure something out. I don't know what that is.
Right. Well, we're not going to solve it.
Yeah, usually in cases like this, sports is like the unifier. And
that's what it's been my whole life. Like, that's what I've always turned to sports to. And last year's sports, and I hate to say just shut up and dribble, because that's not what I want out of anybody. I would never want somebody to pigeonhole me and say, hey, just because you talk for a living doesn't mean you can have opinion about this.
Right.
Like, I want people to have opinions, but I also want, like, my joy. I want my release. I want my escape from the hell that we go through mentally every day.
That's where me and my friend had, again, we kind of agreed on it. We don't want to shut up and dribble, but sports is my escape from the real world.
Right.
Politics, my own personal drama or anything like that aside. Sports is my escape. So it's like, damn, I want to go ahead and take a break from these world issues and just have a good 2 hours of fun. Damn, I got to watch 2 hours of it again? Jesus.
Right. And sports should be the best of us, because sports is based strictly on talent. Whether you're a white guy, black guy, Arabic guy, no matter what you are, if you can put the ball in the hoop, you're going to get a look, right? And that's what I love about sports, is it creates this just skill set based level playing field.
Easy.
And that's really why a big reason why I love sports.
Hey, that's why I'm here.
Well, I'm so glad you're here, Corey, and I'm glad we're able to have these conversations. I don't like doing this shit.
Neither do I.
But I feel if we don't do it and we don't set an example, and like you're tuning into the stations all day on TV, you're gonna see people arguing with each
Back
other,
and forth, shouting at each other,
shouting when it could just be a civil conversation. Obviously, we can't solve the problem today.
Exactly.
But all we can do is like put the energy out in the universe of, hey, this is how we get along. This is how we coexist with sometimes differing opinions, but we're still brothers. We're still like, I'll kill somebody for you. I'll punch somebody in the face today for you if they mess with you, Corey.
And if somebody mess with you, I'm cutting their brake lines.
Yeah, see, we got this. So yeah, we just wanted to touch on that today, and just the fact that we come from different backgrounds, but we share the same belief in the goodness of people.
It's one of those things where, like, we're a sports show, but yesterday was such a demonstration that you can't ignore it.
No, we'd be stupid to just stand up here and like, well, sports happened yesterday. It's like, well, yeah, other shit happened too.
Yeah.
But let's get into what we love.
Let's get into it.
Sports, baby. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today is, would you quarantine yourself to go to an NFL playoff game?
Is it the Lions?
If we're playing hypothetical, yes, but let's just say in general.
In general, probably not.
Okay.
If it's the Lions, yeah.
Okay, because Sean Payton, I thought it was a hilarious idea, and I think I love people who problem solve and can think outside the box. His quote was, "I brought up the idea of testing 50,000 people, quarantining them in a hotel, and having the most safest Superdome known to man scientifically. Bust them in, we test them every day, and we have a COVID-free facility."
There is no way in hell that would work. No way.
They did it with the bubble, right? They could do it.
I mean, that's different. There's like, how many basketball players and coaches were there in that bubble as opposed to 50,000 fans?
Strangers, right?
So many fans are just breaking the rules and bringing people in, just like Daniel House did in the bubble. He had to bring in his chick.
Damn right you bring in that side piece. Like, listen, these guys are only human. They got to smash while they're in the bubble.
I mean, come on. You're going to keep me in a bubble and I can't step up as soon as I step across the street?
I would do this. I would do this. I would be one of the 50,000. Yeah, for sure. Because I like history, period. Whether it's bad history or good history. Living through history is like 2020 is going to be talked about for hundreds of years, how crazy that year was. And we got to live through it, guys. Like, to me, that even though it wasn't the best history in the world, we lived it, so we're going to be able to tell the stories about it. I would love to do that. Like, yeah, I had to sit in quarantine for 2 weeks before I went and saw the Lions play in a playoff game. Then they got their ass beat.
You know what? I'm gonna backtrack. I kind of thought about it a little bit more. I would do it because right now you do not know when we'll all be able to go to games as normal. So in that aspect, I would want to do it just to relive the experience. Like,
yeah, I would just not want to be in charge of it.
Oh hell no.
Trying to align 50,000 different people to get tested daily so they could go to a football, like, you would have to charge a premium to make sure that those people are invested in it. Like, not just show up for free tickets. Like, it's $1,000 a person. If you're down to do this, we can do this.
I'm 50,000.
50,000. Think about quarantining 50,000 people.
I'm trying to think of the hotel space.
That's it, yeah. Or you just make them sleep in the Superdome.
That'd be the.
That
really
could work.
That'd have to be it.
They done it before. I mean, under much different circumstances with Katrina. But you know that place can hold a lot of people. So I just thought it was a funny concept, and I know I would go into quarantine. Fish, get up here real quick and talk on this mic. I know, Fish, there is probably not a sport on the planet you wouldn't quarantine for to go through it, right?
Yeah.
Sounds
about right.
That sounds about right. So you would stay in a hotel room for 2 weeks with random strangers to get to go see what game would you do that for?
I have no clue, but they were talking about this in Australia, doing the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For what sport?
For rugby.
For rugby.
They talked about doing that.
And what's been their talks about it? Just kind of the similar, just kind of joking about it? Or are they serious?
No, they were serious. They ended up having 40,000 people, but I mean they're in a different scenario.
So they did it? They actually did it?
No, they wanted 80.
Oh, so they could only
80 and they got 40.
But still, they can do 40. We can do 50.
Right.
Why is their scenario a little different? Just because they're on an island?
Yeah, they're handling it much better than we are.
You think so?
Well, I don't think so. I know so.
Okay.
Whoa.
There's facts to back it up.
Bring the facts.
Bring the
Fish.
facts.
Yeah, Australia definitely has a little different experience on everything because, with their guns and all that stuff, it's a little easier to manage an island because you don't have random people crossing borders. You can stop everybody from coming in. But yeah, Fish, so you would definitely do the quarantine. Who would you bring with you to go to quarantine with if you could bring one person?
Right here. All right, Stick.
Yeah! All right. Thank you, Fish. We'd have such a good time, man. Then we go watch a playoff game or a rugby game or whatever the hell you want to watch.
It'll be exciting.
It would be fun. Well, cool. Well, thank you, Fish. We'll bring you back up in a little bit, too. I'm glad you got your own mic today. It's nice.
Hey, Fish the man.
Fish
Taking
is
over.
the man.
If it were for a Lions playoff game, 100%.
Oh,
I said Lions
But for the Saints, where they make the playoffs pretty much every year
and lose.
I think I'll sit out.
Whatever.
So some good news about not having to quarantine anymore is the MHSAA is bringing back fall football in January. Yeah, Corey, you excited about that?
Okay, look. I am honestly a fan of the governor, Gretchen Whitmer. I am,
Okay.
and the practices she's put in place. But I gotta admit, she screwed over MHSAA with this. She screwed. I don't want. They were some. Everybody was a victim, but man, they got royally screwed. Each time they were gearing up to do this,
right,
they got pushed back again. So it's kind of hard. Like, okay, is it really going to happen? Is it an asterisk next to this? Like, what?
And how do you get hype as a team again? Like,
yeah,
you play your season's over. Okay. Well, all right, we're going to start back up in 3 weeks. Get in practice. All right, getting back into game mode. Oh, no, never mind. We're not playing. All right, another 2 weeks. All right, get back. No, never mind. All right, third time. I promise we're going to play. Like, at this point, if I'm a 16-year-old, like, I'm done with it.
I'm kind of worried. I'm actually worried about them going in playing for a championship game and if they're conditioned enough because, I mean,
yeah,
we're seeing NBA players who are professionally trained athletes getting hurt. And, I mean, just yesterday, Markelle Fultz tore his ACL.
Ouch.
We've seen
Killian
Hayes.
Killian Hayes.
So it's
broke my heart yesterday.
Yeah, so it's I'm on the fence about them going through with it, but if they're all for it and they really want that conclusion to the season, then hey, by all means.
I mean, the thing that sells me on it is we're going to be able to see kids hosting the trophy at the end of the season. And to me, that memory is something that they'll have for a lifetime and that you shouldn't take away from them. But this stop-start shit's got to stop.
Yeah, that's what's killing me. It's like, okay, all right, the first time, okay, they stopped it. Oh, it's coming back. Oh, no, it stopped again. Oh, it's coming back. Oh, it stopped again. All right, it's back. All right, whatever.
Yeah, well, and I just wouldn't know what to do as a 16-year-old. But they're saying the finals for high school football, for the 11-man football, is going to be played at Ford Field Friday, January 22nd, Division 8, Division 2, Division 6, and Division 4. And then Saturday, January 23rd, you got Division 7, Division 1, Division 5, and Division 3 at 7:30. So if you want to see the schedule, it's up now. It's on our Twitter at Woodward Sports. You can go check it out there. So yeah, season started in August and is ending in January. This is very much a professional football schedule we put. And what about the kids who play multiple sports like basketball, because at St. Mary's, we only had 400 kids that go to the school.
So you got some 2-sport athletes, 3 sports.
Everybody has to play a sport for them to facilitate all the sports. Like even the kids that weren't athletic did like crew and rowing there and stuff like that. So, and then usually your best football players are your best basketball players.
Yeah.
Or there's that one kid that doesn't play football and specializes in basketball, but he would be a great football player. So those kids, I don't know what the hell they're doing. How do you gear up for a basketball season when, oh shit, state playoffs back on?
And you know what's crazy? If they're playing 2 sports, there are going to be some coaches. Like, let's say you have a really good football team, and you have a really good basketball team.
And Cass Tech like that.
Yeah, like, what do you do if you're in a championship, but you're also playing basketball? Them coaches are going to be going back and forth, like, about, hey, he can't be out there for you guys to win that championship. We got to get him ready for this basketball game, X, Y, and Z. So
It's a tough call. But
I don't know.
I'm glad the kids get to lift a trophy at the end of the season. That's an amazing feeling, and it's something you'll never forget. Those pictures look great on social media. You'll have them forever. So I love that these kids are going to get their opportunity. It's just I'm glad they've worked their way around it. I just wish it would have been a little smoother this whole year.
Exactly. I agree with that.
So we mentioned it a little bit earlier. Corey kind of mentioned my nice button-up shirt. I saw Justin Spiro commenting about who's that man in the blue shirt. It's me, still Stick. But yeah, we got some meetings today, and I wanted to spice it up a bit.
Well, you know, my friend India, she got me this for Christmas. So
dope.
So you know, and she got me the shoes. So I just said I'll go ahead and throw it on today.
Yeah, no, I like it. I just wish we would have coordinated a little better.
Yeah, I mean, we could have. I have that same color shirt. We could have been twins.
There we go. Nobody would have been able to tell us apart, Corey.
Not at all. We could have walked in the same room and nobody would have been able to know who's who.
So as Woodward Sports grows, hopefully we grow as men as well and grow into professional men. So, you know, I'm still going to rock my Detroit hat and hoodies from time to time, but you know, we're going to try to elevate it a little bit.
Spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, I've had people comment that, hey, you kind of look homeless sometimes. And I'm like, what? Why? Well, why is that? Like, well, you wear the same hoodie and same hat. I'm like, well, I wash them. It's not like I don't wash the hat, but I do have good clothes at home. I just refuse to wear them.
And I have good clothes at home. I just can't fit them.
Oh.
So, yeah.
And that's your goal, right? Like,
that's my goal. My goal is to I want to drop weight, but I do not want to get under 200 pounds, honestly. I really don't.
How much do you weigh right now? Are you comfortable talking about this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like 235.
235? Okay. Yeah. And what do you want to get down to?
About 210, 205.
Yeah, okay. That's honestly, before COVID started, I was at 230, and now I'm at 205, feeling much better.
Yeah, before COVID started, I was like 220, and then 15. I got up as big as 245.
Did you?
Yeah, but I was just like, okay. When I started getting into the double XL, I'm like, might want to put that slice of pizza down.
Yeah, the heaviest I ever got to was 240, and then like my brain was like, oh shit, next step is 250. Next step's 300. Next step's 320. Like, dude, what are you doing?
That's when it kicked in for me. I'm like, wait a minute, 245. I'm like, wait a minute. What? That's 5 pounds away from 250.
That's 50 pounds away from 300.
Whoa. we gotta back this up.
Well, so far this year, you've done well with your diet. I mean, we were eating all the meat.
We were 7 days in. Yeah, 7 days in.
Yeah, 7 days in. You're doing better than the world. So, yesterday, the butchery came in for Baligian from the Baligian and Bell Show. He has got this podcast. It's called The Smoke Show. And it's all about cooking meat and stuff like that. They came in. They gave us a full spread. And, Corey, you were over there debating, and you did very well for yourself. Very proud of your self-discipline.
I didn't get I got a taste, honestly. Yeah. I just didn't get, like, I didn't load up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I want to try it.
You got great self-discipline, man, so I appreciate that.
It's so rough.
So, yeah, I'm not going to wear a tuxedo in here or anything, but, you know, I'll be looking a little more fresh from time to time, just for the ladies. I tried to make it fair for everybody, but, you know, if they want me to dress up and steal all the ladies, then so be it.
All right, see, man, look, he's talking a little bit too much. All right, I'm about to come in here in a full suit tomorrow.
Oh, do you want? I wish we had the Dumb and Dumber costumes. We could come and start fencing on our way in. So yeah, that's kind of why I got the button up on today. We had some meetings yesterday, and we're like, you know what? We come from a radio background, but this is like TV now, so we gotta be looking fresh to death all the time, representing the brand, looking good. And I'm glad we got a bunch of good-looking people here at Woodward Sports.
Yeah, I told my friend, I said, I got to go grab some new clothes. Well, like I said, I already have nice clothes, but I said I'm about to get something new for right now as I'm dropping. And she lit up like, oh, yeah, I get to go buy this and this and this. Like, oh. The
look I like is just like a graphic T-shirt and a suit coat. Like, I always think that looks smooth. Like, so that may be what I try to pull off for the rest of this run for a little bit. So, Corey, if you wanna do that, get a nice suit coat. Then we can wear whatever we want underneath the suit coat. Because if you throw a suit coat on, you look professional.
That's the thing about it. I have like 10 of them.
Do you?
Yeah, I have clothes. I'm gonna have to start wearing I'm gonna have to start going to my wardrobe. I have clothes, like real clothes.
I should have worn my coat over this. It would look nice.
People are asking about the smoke show that Baligian, they recorded it yesterday. We're going to put it out. We have to wait for Apple Podcasts to approve it, and then we're going to release everything at the same time. So that way you can get a good look at all the smoke. You can catch all the smoke. And it was good eating yesterday. So What you laughing about?
Derek says, I'm 250. Getting down to 249 is my goal. New Year, say me.
It's all about achievable goals,
Achievable
goals. But as long as Derek's not making his mostaccioli like he did and brought it in here during Stuff a Studio, he's going to be fine. That stuff was so good. So good.
You guys were smashing it.
Yeah. No, it was damn good. Speaking of, well, I was going to say damn good, but the Pistons' performance last night, not great. Not great at all.
Yeah, we were talking about, Giannis. We got to stop Giannis from scoring 30 in the first quarter, and the whole Bucks go and score 82 in the first half.
Yeah, Giannis only had 25.
Only 25?
Only 25 for the whole game, man. Yeah.
Only, yeah.
He put in 28 minutes, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 25 points, man. He did not have a monster game. They just had a really balanced game as a team. I mean, they're the highest scoring team in the league for a reason because they can score anywhere.
Anywhere. I was just, again, we talked about it yesterday during the pregame show, and I saw it again yesterday. The Pistons rank near last in deflections and contested shots. And seeing Brook Lopez hitting open jumpers, just like, dude, you've seen this guy do this to you so many times over the past couple of years. I don't get it.
The fact that Brook Lopez is still in the league blows my mind. Like,
yeah,
the Lopez brothers, God bless them. Good for them.
And the thing is, it's not like they're stealing money. They're actually they're serviceable.
They're there.
They're there.
They're there, and they're not bad. Like,
yeah.
They've made a career off of just being available. And honestly, what's the best ability, Corey?
Availability.
Damn right. If you're not available, you can't play. If you can't play, you don't get paid. And it's that simple. So the Pistons lost last night, 130 to 115. It was the first game without Killian Hayes. Good news on Killian, though, because yesterday when the news broke, he's going to be out 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, they were saying it was a labral tear in his hip.
I like how you can say it now.
Yeah, labral tear in his hip, and I was just bummed. Like, we were here and you guys were talking. I just stopped and I was looking like, they were like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like. So 4 to 6 months if he requires surgery. Vince Goodwill of Yahoo Sports, he said that if he does not require surgery, then it'll be a 4 to 6 week recovery. And that is, you know what? I'm still not saying keep him out for the season, but even if it's 4 to 6 weeks, I would still honestly say probably keep him out another month.
Not me.
That would still be huge if it was 4 to 6 weeks, because that kid needs summer league. He needs to play in summer league really bad.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that if it's 4 to 6 weeks, I'm putting him right back out there. I'm saying play ball. Let's get this greenness off of you. Let's become a ripe tomato so next year we can get you, have you starting with some of the progression you were supposed to pick up this year. Obviously, he's not going to be like as far along next year as we want him to be.
Right.
But let's just get him as much run as we can without hurting him, obviously.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant looks good. I mean, what else can you say about Jeremy Grant? He decided to come here and be the man, and he's been the man.
He's been the man, but you know who's been hurting him from being the man?
Balake. You wrote a hell of an article about Blake Griffin.
Yeah, so it wasn't supposed to be that long. Stick comes and says, "Hey, we got to get something up." I said, "Oh yeah, I'm working on this Blake thing. It's pretty much just about done." And he says, "Okay, go ahead." And my 400 words turned into 1,047.
1,000. You wrote a dissertation on Blake Griffin
because it's
go off, Corey.
We seen it again yesterday, and I like I said, I hate to sound like a broken record. I want to sound like I have some variety in me talking about the Pistons, but if we keep seeing the same damn thing every game, you have to address it. Yesterday, 2 for 9 for 9 points. 5 of those 9 points came from free throws, 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. I just do not understand continually taking these threes and you're not making them.
Now, how much of that blame goes to Dwayne Casey for letting him take those threes?
It has, honestly, at this point, I put all of it on Casey.
All of it on Casey?
Because the first couple of games, all right, whatever. Let him get his legs under him. He's trying to add this part to his game.
Right.
All right, cool. We're 8 games in now. You're seeing that him shooting from beyond the arc is obviously not working. As a coach, you have to step in and be like, all right, you're gonna have to step inside and work on getting a mid range or just play around the rim. And
Or you just say you shoot another fucking 3-pointer, you're gonna be sitting on the bench the rest of the game.
And here's the weird thing.
I don't care if you're wide open. I don't care if it's in the offense. Like, you're not shooting any more 3-pointers. You're 0-6. You're 0-6.
And I understand why they're trying to let him go play because, honestly, we need Blake to be showcased because we want to hopefully be able to trade him. But,
yeah, I get it.
But the way that he's playing right now is just like no team's going to give us anything for him.
And honestly, even if he does, like, no team's going to want a 3-point shooting power forward. Like, that's not what they're trading for Blake Griffin for. They want somebody that's going to hustle, get rebounds, set picks, and be a great pick-and-roll player, a pick-and-pop player, not a camp-out on the 3-point line player.
And in 26 minutes yesterday, how many rebounds do you think he got?
God, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
How many?
He got one more than I did. So that's one. I had 0 rebounds yesterday for the Pistons. Blake Griffin had 1 in 26 minutes.
1 rebound.
1 rebound, 5 assists, and 9 points.
Sadiq Bey had 10 rebounds yesterday.
Sadiq Bey, like, I mean, I'm glad at least both. We had 3 good first-round draft picks. Say what you want about Troy Weaver. Say what you want about Killian at this stage in his career. But Troy Weaver, they picked out some really damn good draft picks in the first round this year. Sadiq Bey, and then our boy, he's becoming my favorite. Like, I don't buy other men's jerseys because I don't wear grown-ass men's name on my back. I wear my name on my back because I'm a grown-ass man. Like, that's just how I feel. When I was a kid, I rocked jerseys all the time.
Right.
Then for some reason, I had this epiphany. I'm like, wait, I'm wearing another dude's name on my back. Like, this is weird. I'm a grown-ass man. I shouldn't be wearing jerseys.
Wait. I got something for you.
Okay.
What you're doing right now is what Jay-Z did. Jay-Z said, he said, I can't, you know what's crazy? I can say a Jay-Z line anytime right now, but now I can't do it anymore.
Oh.
Jay-Z said that he's off of wearing jerseys. He's wearing crisp pair of jeans and button-ups.
Shit, man, I'm on my Jay-Z. What's up, Beyonce? What's up, Beyonce? You want to step in the elevator and box?
Oh, yeah, don't wear jerseys. I'm 30 plus. Give me a crisp pair of jeans and a button-up.
And it's true. Like, at some point, you can't wear another man's name on your back. It's just awkward.
But I got to disagree with you on this one.
Really?
As soon as it gets pressed, even if I got to create it myself, I'm getting an Isaiah Stewart jersey.
That's become my favorite human on the planet, and that's where I was going with this. I may buy an Isaiah Stewart jersey.
I'm grabbing one.
Just to throw it up in the basement or something. Like, Alex, do you have the video of him getting into it with Giannis yesterday? Like, during the pre-games, we were talking about who's going to get in Giannis's shit. Like, who can make Giannis uncomfortable? Who can throw Giannis off his game? And Isaiah Stewart is who we brought up. Like, we need to put him on Giannis to cause discomfort. And obviously, they still whooped our ass. But next time we play them, there's going to be some fire between Isaiah Stewart and Giannis.
I was watching it, and I'm like, you're the Greek freak. And you talk about he's actually thumped his chest in the past, but with Isaiah Stewart, he felt like he had to go give him a couple of words after the game, man.
And that's a rookie.
And you let a rookie, you're the 2-time MVP, the 2-time back-to-back reigning MVP, and you let a rookie get real estate in your head. And Stewart is just standing there just looking at him like he's not moving, like, all right.
I mean, Stewart looks tougher than Giannis. I gotta say, like, even though Giannis is taller, bigger, when they were matched up, like the eye-to-eye contact, I'm taking Stewart. I'm taking Stewart.
And again, it goes back to what Stewart said before he got drafted. Well, as soon as he got drafted, he doesn't think there's anybody who wants to get physical with him.
No.
And he's showing it.
No, and if you haven't watched a Pistons game, if you're like, the team, they've only won 1 game this season, they're still worth watching. They're still worth, like, once LCA opens up, going to the games, because you're seeing these storylines develop. And I've talked about this several times on the show, like back before the 2004 Pistons hit. The 2001 Pistons were fun to watch. Cliff Robinson was fun to watch. Chucky Atkins was fun to watch. John Barry was fun. Like, you could see something happening with the Pistons there.
Yeah, that was the Jerry Stackhouse era, wasn't it?
It was a little bit of the Jerry, because we traded Jerry Stackhouse for Rip. Yep. Which, by the way, when I got that phone call from my friend Tracy, or rest in peace Tracy, I was like, you're lying. We didn't trade Jerry Stackhouse for who? Rip Hamilton, like the kid from Connecticut? The backup shooting guard from Washington? Like, we traded that guy, and Rip just turned out to be a blessing and, like, probably one of my favorite Piston humans of all time. I got a cool Rip Hamilton story. So I went to Fort Lauderdale just for a weekend with my wife and my buddy Joe Zago. And we're down there, and we're sitting in a sports bar. I'm watching the Lions play because, I can't miss my Lions game.
Right.
We had to find a bar with the Lions on. Who's sitting in the table next to me watching the Lions game?
Rip Hamilton.
Rip Hamilton. And I got to watch a whole Lions game with Rip. I didn't get a picture with him because I'm not that type of guy to be like, hey, let me get a picture with you. I always feel like that ruins the moment. But yeah, I got to sit for 3 hours with Rip Hamilton, drinking, watching the Lions, and talking Detroit sports. It was like one of the most glorious moments in my life.
Nice.
He was wearing his face mask, right?
Yeah. Always. He's great, man. And I used to love the stories about him. He used to have his dogs. And the story about him conditioning, how he would run with his dogs till his dogs were tired. That's when he knew his workout was done.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
And he had, I believe he had like greyhounds or something like that. So it's not like he
did. Now that's even more crazy because
Yeah,
those dogs get out there.
Yeah, it's not like he's trouncing around with a Saint Bernard, a big fat dog. Like, he was running around with dogs that are meant to run, and dude would run with them. But yeah, throwing it back to Isaiah Stewart, he reminds me and brings me back to those days when I was sitting in the Palace. Not too many people were there, but then you just saw it growing and growing and growing. And next thing you know, the Palace sold out for 900 games in a row.
I was actually able to, when I interned there, I was able to be a part of those sellouts, just being in the arena. We need that feeling again. I truly think the Palace was the best arena around.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact I've been to a few other arenas, and with the Palace, I can honestly say that to me there was not a bad seat in there.
Now, I feel that way about all of our venues in Detroit, but yeah, especially the Palace. I mean, not only for basketball games, but I've seen every concert there under the sun, and it's just sad that they threw it away and it was still good. Like, I get why Bill Davison moved the team out there back in the day. He felt unsafe, blah, 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 blah. But he really built something awesome out there, and I respect Bill Davison like crazy. I love that the Pistons are back in Detroit. I do. I thought it was something that always should have happened. As a kid, it just didn't make sense to me. Like, live, we're watching the Detroit Pistons from the Palace of Auburn Hills. It's like, what?
You know what? I do like LCA, but I'm going to be honest, I still want them to get their own arena.
Their own arena downtown?
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
I still think LCA is still more of a hockey arena. I still look at it.
Yeah.
I still view it as that, and that the Pistons are just our visitors.
You know what, Anson, that bothers Anson more than anything. Anson Wells, who does the football talk with me, the Lions pregames with me, he says that all the time. He's like, I walk in, it's all red, there's 900 banners hanging, and then there's a couple Piston banners over in the corner.
It doesn't feel like it's a dual arena. It really feels like it's a Red Wings arena, which it originally was, and the Pistons just happened to be in there.
Right.
It's also because you associate Little Caesars with the Red Wings.
Yeah. Yep. The Pizza Hut, or the Pizza Barn. That's what they were calling it when it first opened. Like, yeah. I like LCA, and I love the outdoor aspect of it. Now they got that big TV outside and that big common area, because you can see the vision. Like, all right, the Pistons are in the playoffs. It's a sellout inside. There's 10,000 people outside watching it on the TV. As soon as the game's over, popping champagne, championship. There's already 20, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 people downtown Detroit. Like, I see it.
It puts me in, and it's kind of funny because we signed the Pistons hired Big Sean.
Yeah.
But here's where I'm going with it. With the Pistons hired
go.
Big Sean, it kind of reminds me of Toronto with Jurassic Park and Drake, when they would have the whole stage and thing out there, and Drake would be out there with the fans and going crazy with the big screen and the confetti and all that stuff. I can see Big Sean out there once we start winning.
Sada Baby.
Yeah, Sada Baby. Ooh, yeah. Unless, who knows, Killian might roll up on him and stop him if you guys seen that on Woodward Scores.
But that'd be a crazy party, man. I miss that so much, and it's tough explaining to people who haven't experienced that sports culture because our teams have been down for so long. Like, I feel bad for young guys that are like 20 years old because they haven't won anything since we were like 6, you know?
Yeah, I think it's going on like close to almost 2,000 days since a playoff win of any of the pro teams.
2,000 days?
It's something crazy.
Yeah, that's like 6 years.
I know it's well over 1,500.
Wow. That's like 6 years, man. That's crazy. But we're going to get back there, and that's I like the momentum all the teams have right now, too. And, you know, we're starting from the bottom. We'll get there.
Who's going to get the first playoff win?
Oh,
all the 4 teams.
First playoff win of the 4 teams.
Red Wings.
Red Wings. Yeah, I got to go Red Wings. It's because it's Stevie Y we trust. I mean, he's the captain. He's the visionary. Look what he did for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. The Pistons, I feel like you can make the basketball playoffs a little bit easier right now. You know, like you can fall into that 8th seed
especially
and maybe steal a win. Yeah, and maybe steal a win. But if we're talking playoff series win, yeah, probably the Red Wings are closer. I think they're I think the Red Wings and Pistons are right there. They're both 2 to 3 years away. But then when I always argue that football, you're just always a year away from turning it around. So I don't know. That's a tough question for me, man.
I think, I also think you have to give the Tigers some consideration too. I think they could possibly have a quick turnaround.
Fish, hop on up here, man. Who do you think out of all the Detroit sports teams is going to be the first team to make the playoffs? Or win a playoff series or game?
Series or game?
Yeah, because if it's the Lions, they're not winning a series, you know?
No, good point.
Yeah.
Probably Red Wings.
Okay, so you think Red Wings too?
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
They have a lot of young talent. They have a lot of good talent, and the Pistons have young talent, but they're not as progressive as the Red Wings are.
What makes the Red Wings so good in your eyes, like the talent?
Well, there's a lot of names that I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Like Dylan Larkin's captain. He's pretty good. And then you have, Stevie Y, Eisenman.
Yep.
Did very good things for Tampa.
Yep.
Happy he came back.
I am too, man.
And
it's always good to have Stevie Y in the city.
And I trust him. I think he'll do good things for the Red Wings.
All right, did you watch the USA-Canada game?
I did.
What'd you think of that?
Very exciting.
Give me a USA.
USA.
Yeah, Fishy. Thank you for your insight, man. I appreciate you. And I'm glad you like the youth that the Pistons have as well, because I think that's important. I love Isaiah Stewart. Who do you got? Who's your favorite Piston right now? Do you have one?
I do not have one. I'll go for Isaiah Stewart.
All right. I like it. All right, Alex, who's your favorite Piston right now?
I'll say one thing about Isaiah Stewart. If I can just
that he's the damn man?
Yeah, he's the damn man. And that video about him confronting Giannis, that's exactly the player the Pistons want him to be. That bad boy swagger, he's going to work so hard that he's going to get under your skin and piss you off.
Yep.
And I really hope he would have done that Monday in the first quarter and stopped that 43-point game from Giannis. But, yeah, that's exactly what the Pistons wanted Isaiah to be.
Love our record right now, but we'll get better. And when Killian comes back, hopefully we keep improving.
But I want to get into this real quick.
Uh-oh.
Pivot. See, speaking of Isaiah. With Killian is gone. I posted yesterday on Twitter. I said if Killian Hayes is out longer than the month, should the Pistons consider bringing in Isaiah Thomas for a workout?
Now let's
for
preface.
the record,
preface.
I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas, the 5'8", 5'9" guard.
Out of Texas.
Not Zeke. I'm not talking about Zeke. I'm talking about the little Isaiah.
How is he not on a team?
That I don't know, but when I tweeted that, I added him, and he liked the tweet. So, I'm thinking maybe we need to bring him in just to see what he can do. I don't think it would hurt.
We talked about it during the pregame. Like, why not give this dude a 10-day contract and see if it works out, and then sign him to the vet minimum if he's serviceable? If anything, you could trade him if he's valuable.
Exactly. Also, too, if you want to go ahead and move Derrick Rose, then you have another guy right there.
Right.
So I think that right now with Killian out, it won't hurt.
And he liked your tweet, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But also kind of sad.
Because that means that he's not on the team and he's at home.
And he's sitting at home like, oh, shit, someone wants me on the Pistons. Hell yeah, I want that too.
Yes, I mean, last year with the Wizards in 40 games, averaged 12.2 points. On 41% shooting from beyond the arc.
Hey, listen, when he was healthy and doing his thing for the Celtics, he was one of the most unstoppable little men in the league.
28 0.9 points per game before the injury.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. So I would take Isaiah Thomas on this team just for the fun of the namesake. We were talking about it yesterday. Like, what number do we give him? Like little penny. You put the half on him and put him out there for the Pistons. So
He said 11 and a half. That's still kind of funny to me.
It's awesome, man. Let's get him on the team. Let's give him a look. Let's just, it can't hurt at this point, right?
He's also reaching veteran status, so
He can sign
along
a
with
vet.
Rose and Griffin, he can be another guy that can teach our young players.
Yeah, I like it. He's always been a stand-up guy. He's never been a headache where he's been. And Adam, what you doing, man?
I just got to say something about Isaiah Stewart.
Let's hear it.
It's my boy, man.
Yeah.
My dude. Taking on Giannis, but please, God, no to Isaiah Thomas. Fuck no. He's gonna teach all the young kids how to ball hog and how to be a little bitch on the team.
What?
We don't need that shit. Yeah, no, I'm straight on that.
He's also going to teach him how to strap from behind the three-point line.
He's a shitty 3-point shooter, man. He had one good year. Dude,
He
try to
shot
walk.
41% last year.
Last year doing what? Playing 6 minutes? Fuck. No, I'll pass on Isaiah Stewart. I'd rather have Fish on the court than Isaiah Stewart.
Fish running point. I could see that.
Yeah, but one quick question.
Yes, sir.
We're 1-7.
Yes.
No need to panic button. We kind of expected this, but when is Sadiq Bey gonna get 30 minutes consistently every night?
I think he got close to that last
He got
When
close
Blake
to it
Griffin's
last
off
night.
the team.
But like Killian Hayes being out, dude, him and Josh Jackson need more minutes, man. I'm on Corey's bandwagon with Josh Jackson. Seriously.
I mean, he shows out. Yeah, Sadiq Bey had 24 minutes last night, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 20 points. A 20-10 game in 24 minutes.
I want to see him at 30 consistently. Maybe 28 is a fair number. I don't know, but like I don't like seeing him at 31 one game and then back to 18 the next game and then 24. Like
Right.
he's proven out of the three, he's the most game ready offensively.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm glad we backed it up with 3 first-round picks this year. Otherwise, we'd be screwed if we threw all of our eggs in the Killian Hayes basket.
That would have been ugly.
It would have been ugly. So I'm glad Weaver was aggressive, made moves, and got 2 other young guys that are really showing to be – they could have been top 10
They're roster
picks.
guys, man.
Yeah.
They're great for the roster.
Yep.
But you guys have a great show.
Adam,
I love you. What?
You look sexy today, man.
I know, man. I always look good.
The reason I'm dressing up is because they compared me to Adam. They're like,
Ooh.
Adam's on screen. He looks nice.
That's right.
He always looks. He's got a nice fitted shirt. I'm like, you can't compare me to the sexual being that
Look,
this
man.
Lebanese man is.
Look, it's in my blood.
It is.
I don't know. Like going to the gym every day, that's been a whole new testosterone booster. So, there's a lot going on in my head right now. So I'm just trying to focus on what I'm
No, you got nothing going on, Adam. Speaking of testosterone, Woody, my dog,
Yeah.
balls slipped yesterday.
Yeah, I
Snipped.
hate that shit. I feel so bad for him.
Dude, I got
You cut
home.
off my balls, just put me to bed, man.
Yeah, what would you do if someone cut off your balls?
If someone cut off my ball, I'd probably kill myself.
I got 2 things in this world: my balls and my word.
That's right. Tony Montana, baby.
Yeah, that's right. And if I don't have my balls, I only got
You
my
don't got
word.
shit.
And my word doesn't mean shit without
You
balls.
don't got shit.
So, yeah, for everybody that wonders about Woody, my puppy, by Adam, he went yesterday to the vet, and we had to neuter him, which all responsible dog owners, cat owners, pet owners should do to their pets. But the poor little guy, man. I get home yesterday. We were here till like 8 o'clock after the Pistons pregame show. I get home, and he's just like looking at me like, "What'd you do, man?" And he's like, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry, bro. Like, 2 days ago you had this big giant nutsack, and now you got nothing there."
We gotta have a moment of silence for that.
Yeah,
man.
can we do that? Like, that was for Woody's nuts. I'm sorry, buddy, but it's for the betterment of mankind and society. I would love for that little guy to reproduce because he's such a great puppy, but I'm sorry, man. His nuts are gone.
Was he wearing one of those, like, dejecting cones?
We didn't put him on the cone yet. We've warned him. You keep licking that, we're going to put a cone on you because he can't lick it and open the wound and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we got the cone. I don't want to put it on him just yet, though. But dude was in rough shape yesterday.
So
man.
embarrassing for him.
It has to be, man. Like his whole life for a year, he's been going down there cleaning his nuts, like looking at them and like proud of them because Woody, for a small dog, he's packing, and now he's got nothing down there. I'm telling you, Woody's packing, man. My buddy had his dog over the other day, same size dog, much smaller penis. Not that I'm comparing, I'm just saying. I noticed. Woody packing, all right? That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, God.
You want to get into another uncomfortable conversation?
Uh-oh.
Does the name Ryan Ayers mean anything to you guys?
No.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It probably shouldn't. He's a former Notre Dame basketball college player and then later an assistant coach on the team at Notre Dame. But
I think I know where this is going.
Unfortunately, he has been charged with felony voyeurism.
Oh.
Felony voyeurism. And I was reading the article on this, and I mean, we're all guys, right? We've all gotten naked pictures from chicks, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Definitely have my fair shared. Alex,
you get some nudes every now and then?
No comment.
Okay, see, now that's what respectable men do. Well, we don't just group send them to the boys.
Oh, no.
Well, this dumbass, not only, I mean, we probably should have saved him for dumbass of the day.
Yeah.
But not only was he taking various images of naked women where they seemed to be unaware that the photo was taken of them. These images include women in the shower, sleeping on a bed, or in a sexual position. One of the women told investigators that Ayers had shared images within a group chat with quote-unquote the guys. And that's what's getting this dude popped right now. The woman also told investigators that she learned images of her taken by Ayers in his South Bend home had been shared by Ayers with the group chat, and that's what kind of kicked off this whole investigation, felony charges, and all of that. So not only was the dude taking secret pictures, he was doing like the cardinal rule when a girl sends you nudes. You don't send them to the boys. You don't do that to girls. You just can't.
Dude is effing up the game for everybody.
Everybody, man.
Like, me and one of my friends, lady friends, had this discussion. I told her, I don't even keep those. If I get one of those photos, I don't keep them on my phone longer than 24 hours.
24 hours? So you got the Snapchat rule essentially on your phone?
Yeah, I literally just look hard. And then
wait, pause. You look hard?
What does that mean?
Okay, yeah, what does that mean, Corey? I get hard.
I take a concentrated look.
There we go. Thank you. You got to be careful with your words when we're talking about these things.
I take a concentrated look and then I delete. I don't send to the boys because the thing about it is, one, I don't want nobody saying I leaked an image. That's you're an asshole. If you leak images or share private photos, you're a jerk. And to even take the photos, that's a creep.
Well, and that's where it gets crazy. Is he would just send them to the boys, and that's when it's over the line. We've all got nude pictures, but if somebody sees them, I'm not sending it to them. I'm gonna be like, hey, check that out. Boom, then take it back real quick. Like I would never violate or cover the face or something like that. Like I don't know. It's so violating to do that to somebody without their permission, because here's what happens. You send it to your boys. He got another group chat. He's sending it to his boys. There's a guy in that has another group chat. It's going to his boys. And next thing you know, this picture that was just supposed to be between you and her is now everybody's property.
Once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's no coming back.
And that's another thing to women. You got to be cautious, too, about who you sending these pictures to. Because some guys are complete assholes. Like, I've had friends that just send me random pictures like that. And it's like, no, prank caller. Like, I've had friends send me pictures with my wife sitting next to me, and it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I'm married. What's she gonna do if she looks down and the picture of this girl popping her pussy is on my phone? Like, it's just some of these guys, man. Some of these guys and girls, you got to be careful. And guys sending D pics, you deserve whatever you get. It's a different scenario.
That to me is the weirdest thing in the world, because I have a lot of lady friends, and they tell me that guys send them unsolicited.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, wait, and I'm like, dudes really just send y'all random peen pics? And she like, look, no, I don't need to see. I believe you. I'm just, it's weird.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I don't know any girl that's ever been like, man, he sent me his D pic, and oof, I had to go over there immediately. It's like, oh, I got another D pic. They're gross. Like, guys are gross. Like, that's why I love women. They're sexy. Guys, not so much.
Yeah.
So this guy's being brought up on his felony charges, and I hope he gets everything.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. Yeah. All the smoke.
Yeah, because if I don't get another pick, I'm definitely going to put money into making sure he gets locked up.
Well, it says he's denying the allegations, and his defense team is coming together and will vigorously defend him. Ryan looks forward to clearing his name of these false charges. So he's disputing it, man, and we're going to find out. But either way, like, even if he's disputing the part where he took the pictures like he didn't mean to, you know this group chat thing is real.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's, to me, and that's they're both bad, but the group chat thing takes it over the top.
Yeah, you know, like I said, already taking creeper pictures is one thing, but if everybody else has those photos, then, hey, it traces back to you, buddy, and you deserve to get your ass kicked.
My man Promo Dave in the comments right now. I never understood D pics. I'm a real man. I'll meet up with her and disappoint her in person.
That's the way. That's the spirit.
That is the spirit. Like, just go in with your tiny wiener and disappoint in person. Like, be a man.
Hey, you know, do like Mike Epps and next Friday, just stand with the proud pose, like top flight security, like.
Nothing wrong. It's what you got, man. It's what you got. So I saw that story and I was just like, my God, this guy's an idiot. So we had to talk about that. He should be dumbass of the day. If we don't get to dumbass of the day today, that's the
dumbass.
And don't forget, today we brought back the $100 giveaway. Make sure you share this Facebook Live right now. If you're on YouTube, give it a share. If you're on Twitter, give it a retweet. And you're eligible to win $100. We're going to draw it at the end of the show today.
Just make sure you cash at me 95 of it.
Oh, yeah. You gotta break off Corey some. That's
gotta
for
pay
sure.
the piper.
So one of my favorite boxers of all time, or actually my favorite boxer of all time, is Mike Tyson.
Mine too. Well, one of them. One of them.
Who else? Who else on your list?
I have to preface my comment by saying I don't like him as a person.
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather.
Okay. Well, he pertains to this conversation too. So Logan Paul calls out Floyd Mayweather, right? And Mike Tyson, he's talking to Logan Paul and telling him, "You're just gonna get your ass beat." You have that video over there, Alex?
Yep.
Play that video real quick so we can hear Mike Tyson talking trash.
You're back.
So, yeah, that's Mike Tyson eating a mouthful of mushrooms, telling Logan Paul he's going to get his ass beat. I believe Mike Tyson in everything that he says. Even when he said to a guy that he would F him into A until he loved him. Until he loved him. Like, when I think about that insult, my brain literally takes it literally, and it's like, wait a minute, how long would that take for someone to fall in love with you if you're doing that to them? So Mike Tyson scares the shit out of me. I love him. I think he's like a great human being once you get down to the core of it and everything. But man, on there, he's eating mushrooms, which I love. Like, I would love to spend a day with Mike Tyson on mushrooms and really get into that guy's head. But yeah, Logan Paul keeps running his mouth. He's doing a great job of being kind of like the WWE and bringing that to boxing. He's getting his notoriety from it. But if Tyson says you're going to get knocked out, you're going to get knocked out.
I think that, you know, fighting other athletes is one thing. Like, you know, it was Jake Paul who knocked out Nate, right?
Yeah.
It was okay,
Yep.
yeah. So fighting other athletes, fighting other YouTubers or whatever, that's one thing. Fighting Floyd freaking Mayweather
Right.
is another. When people talk about that, oh, he got pillow hands or anything like that, yeah, that may be for another boxer who's trained to take those punches.
Right.
Floyd's hands are ridiculously fast. Still,
Right.
he trains still every day as if he's about to get in the ring the next day.
His endurance is crazy.
He's going to hurt him unless they do like a head wrap or something. If they're doing
If
a
they
straight
do
up,
that, it's not a real boxing match.
Honestly, I would rather it be that, because that man is going to get hurt badly.
The one thing I will say, though, is Floyd Mayweather is predominantly a defensive boxer. So he's not the guy that's going to come in and just throw haymakers.
Nope.
He's going to try to wear you out over rounds. Like we've seen it throughout his career. That's what Floyd does. He dances around the ring. You can't hit the guy. He's so fast. His angles, his defense, he's great like that. But if I'm a guy that wants to fight somebody, a professional boxer, I want to fight a guy like Floyd Mayweather who's based on defense, not clocking my ass in the face.
I think that if Logan Paul tries to go in there and whoop Floyd Mayweather's ass, that's where you're going to see that defense come in, because Floyd is just going to counterpunch him the whole fight until he knocks him out eventually.
Right.
And I think him and Conor McGregor went, I believe, 11 rounds before it got stopped. 10, 11 rounds.
Yeah, and to me that was just like Floyd letting Conor have the first 4 rounds, and Conor caught him with some shots. Like,
Conor did catch him. I'm thinking this is going to get cut in half.
Yeah, I would just love to see Floyd come out, but he's not going to put himself in that vulnerable position to just come out and be on the attack, because that's not his game.
Yeah.
He's going to make you try to attack him, and then he's going to expose your weaknesses, which is frustrating, but damn, the dude's been successful. And shout out to the money team, Floyd Mayweather, straight out of Michigan, too. Like, a lot of people don't acknowledge that. He's from
Grand Rapids.
I thought he was from Benton Harbor.
Really?
Let's
I
look
thought it was
that
Grand
up real
Rapids.
quick. Fish, can you look up where Floyd Mayweather's from? I thought it was Benton Harbor, but
I really thought it was Grand Rapids.
okay. Well, Fish will look that up for us. But yeah, you gotta show respect to anybody from Michigan. I appreciate you.
And he just put a Mayweather boxing club right here in Birmingham.
Literally, like, we can see it outside the Woodward Sports Studios right now. So, Grand Rapids. You were right. Corey.
Yeah, because his whole family is out there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they're out there still, but they're from there.
Yeah, for some reason I just thought there's another boxer from Benton Harbor. I can't think of his name right now. Either way, I'll figure that out after the show. But yeah, I just like anytime I hear Mike Tyson, he's my hero. I love Mike Tyson. Like, the arc of that guy's life, to have it all, to throw it away, to now come back and be quasi-successful in all that you do. He smokes a ton of weed. Like, I feel like me and Mike Tyson could really get along well.
Me too. Tyson, you ever seen Tyson in interviews? Like, it depends on which interview setting you're in. That one, he's like real calm and collected. The other one, he look like he might snap at any moment.
Right. We gotta take a quick break. Let's play some nice people that chose to sponsor us and be a part of the Woodward Sports thing. We appreciate you guys. And coming up next, a feel-good story, Corey.
How feel good?
Give me an ah. We'll talk about it next.
Welcome to Grow Green, the green standard for garden supplies here in Michigan over the past 10 years. We offer the best gardening and lawn care products and have an extremely knowledgeable staff to help you create your dream garden or make your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Shop the store located in Whitmore Lake or online at growgreenmi.com. Delivery and curbside pickup available. Grow Green, making Michigan greener one grower at a time.
We wake up every day with a choice. Keep going down the same unfulfilling path or start chasing the life we dream about. At Northwestern Tech, we want to make that choice easier by allowing you to keep working your job while training for a real career in heating and cooling. And our hands-on program is only 10.5 months. So getting in the field and building a career and actually waking up with a purpose could be a lot easier than you think. Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works.
Back.
All right. Well, thank you guys for sponsoring us. It means a lot that you're supporting, this Woodward Sports venture that we're doing, and I can't wait to keep growing this thing and growing this thing and growing this thing. So shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Thank you guys for watching every morning. Thank you everybody who shared this, and don't forget, make sure you share this right now for your chance at that hundo. I miss giving away money every morning, so we brought it back because we don't have to pay Joey this morning. He's not here.
Slacker.
In Mexico. I love that Joey went on a vacation, though, man. He works very hard. Joey works incredibly hard. Man,
like, Joey sends me stuff sometimes at 3 in the morning. I'm like, dude,
sleep, man. Adam's got that same problem. Adam never sleeps either, man. And you damn near put yourself in the hospital the last week because you weren't getting any sleep. Like, we grind in here, baby.
Yeah, but don't be me. Lay off the caffeine.
Yeah. Unless it's from Birmingham Roast, because it's delicious.
Because this green tea I got it right here.
People were clowning your water bottle because they could see it while the commercial was running.
Oh, I gotta hydrate. I am not going back to Beaumont.
Look at this thing. Boom.
Just so you know, I'm taking care of myself. I'm not going back to Beaumont. I am hydrating all day, so y'all gonna see a lot more of this.
So I love this story. We talked about it yesterday about how when Devontae Smith won the Heisman, just how composed he sounded, how you could tell he was holding back tears. And I could just tell that he's like a really good guy and humble, and it meant a lot to him. Like when they announced it, you could just see him like set back in his chair and just like kind of let his guard down. It's like, man, I did this. And, I loved his speech. We played a little bit of his speech yesterday. How do you feel about Devontae Smith?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even have a real thought about him up until watching the speech.
Okay.
Just being up front, I didn't have a real thought about him. And after watching the speech, it's just like, I'm happy that he won, and I'm happy that he gave his speech. He was a great role model for it's a great role model. It's a great video clip for up and coming athletes or people who have been in his position to see it, to show that no matter what type of situation you're in, no matter who you are, what size you are, you can overcome anything that you put your mind to.
Yeah, you love that message of empowerment to any young person because, we were getting into the race thing and all that stuff earlier, but I'm a firm believer in we all won the lotto being born here. Your opportunities are what you create, and you go make it happen for yourself.
I mean, that's why people come here. It's the land of opportunity.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people come here. And it's not all roses, and it's not all, great, because with personal responsibility comes the ability to soar as high as you want and to fail as far as you want. And some people don't like knowing that they have to do stuff or they're gonna fail.
Yeah, but
hey,
it's life.
Yeah, it is life. So get on your horse and make something happen for yourself, God damn it. But you love Devontae Smith for what he is and his speech. And then a story comes out yesterday about what he did for his college professor. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't.
So one of his college professors always wanted to be on the sideline for a game and stuff like that. And Devontae Smith wrote this letter. Her name is Miss Morgan. Alex, you have the picture of this. It says, "Thank you for everything you do for me and for all the students in the class. You have made the class really interesting, and I hope you enjoy your sideline experience. Thank you, Devontae Smith." So he wrote letters to all of his teachers, and one of his teachers mentioned that they wanted to be on the sideline. He got him there for the national championship game.
Wow.
Not just a home game against Air Force or, South Louisiana Tech, Northwestern College. It's the national championship game. He went out of his way and got one of his teachers, not his boys, not his family, a teacher.
It's one thing. First off, that's an incredible gesture.
Yes.
That's an amazing gesture, but it's one thing to have such an amazing gesture that Devontae Smith did. How does that teacher feel about the impact that they made, that a student would go that far to show their appreciation?
And not only a student, the Heisman winner. It's not like, and I'm not putting him on a pedestal and saying he's above a student, but usually those guys, they don't even fucking go to class.
Exactly.
I mean, let's be honest. They don't have to.
And we're talking about the best player in the country,
right?
Just by the award, who, like you said, they don't go to class. They're really focusing on the NFL. This guy is going to hey, you know what? I'm playing in this big game. This teacher expressed this sentiment to me. I want to make sure they're there because of the impact they had on my life. That teacher has to feel proud.
Yeah, and it's a handwritten letter, too.
Handwritten.
That doesn't happen anymore. You didn't just shoot him a text. It was a handwritten, well-thought-out letter. And it's just nice to see that the leaders that are coming in like this, hopefully more people follow suit, because the biggest knock on wide receivers is what? They're divas. They're divas. That's it. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. If I'm drafting a guy like this, I know I'm getting a team player. I know I'm getting somebody in the organization that can be just more of a spiritual leader, too, than an on-the-field leader.
And I also think his message really extends beyond the football field. I think anybody can learn from this. When somebody does something for you, when somebody makes an impact in your life, make sure you give them their roses while they're still alive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people there's not enough of that.
Yeah,
so
funny.
Show appreciation.
On the comments of this, not in our comment section, but when I was looking at the picture, someone's like, hey, I could read the lines. He's trying to smash.
Now, if she's hot, then I see where he's going with it.
Yeah. well, I don't know what she looks like, but her thumb holding up, she had decent thumbs, so we could start there. You ever seen Megan
You're a big
Fox's
thumb guy, Stick?
What's that?
You're a big thumb guy?
Yeah, you ever seen Megan Fox's thumbs?
No.
It'll ruin Megan Fox for you.
Oh,
Can you pull that up? Can you Google it and find it out real quick?
I could try, yeah.
Where's Adam at? Let's have him send you an email real quick with Megan Fox's thumbs. We'll talk about that in a minute. No, I'm not. I don't care. Like, everybody has little imperfections here and there. I'm clearly not perfect by any standards of anybody's imagination. But yeah, Megan Fox, head to toe, gorgeous girl.
That is not her. That is not her thumb.
Those are her thumbs, bro. Can you throw them up on the screen for everybody to see? But those are her.
Hold on that.
Yeah, her thumbs look like big toes, man.
Yeah, I'm like,
that girl is flawless. It reminds me of Boomerang. You remember that movie Boomerang? Like,
I know where you're going with with the feet.
She had hammer time on her feet. Like, and that's exactly what I like. You take Megan Fox home from the club, and then you wake up, and her arms like here, and you look down, and you're just like, what is that? Like, why do you have toe thumbs?
That definitely looks like a big toe.
It definitely is. It definitely is a big toe. So yeah, Megan Fox, beautiful girl, outstanding. You couldn't find anything wrong with her, but it's just me, man. It's who I am. I'm like, what's up with those thumbs? So at least his teacher, Miss Morgan, had decent thumbs when she was holding up the card.
Stick's watching Transformers, and he's just looking at Megan Fox's thumbs.
Yeah, that's it. Like, stopping it. Like, oh, they should have CGI'd that out. Like, at least put different hands on her or something. So yeah, if you haven't seen Megan Fox's thumbs, did we get it up for people? Adam's right behind you if you need some help getting that up for people, because I really want people to address this right now. And yes, Mason, we will talk about Michigan basketball coming up in just a few minutes, so stick around for that. And once again, make sure you share this Facebook Live today, retweet if you're on Twitter, or make sure you share the YouTube for your chance at $100 so we can hook that money up for you this morning. Get them shares in. And shout out to everybody watching us on all those different platforms right now.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Yeah, big time. You know, we're trying to grow the network out for you, the people, give you something different. And hey,
like Bane.
Come on.
For you, the people. That's what I think of every time. So is it up right now, Adam? So look at these toe thumbs, man. She's a beautiful girl. I'm not trying to knock her, but how do you not notice these things? Like,
those are.
How did you guys never see this? You just don't look at thumbs?
No, I can't say that when I look at Megan Fox, I look at her hands.
Yeah, it's just such a weird thumb. Joey has weird fingers too. Like, his fingernails take up the whole tops of his fingers. Like, there's no skin on the side. It's very strange. Very strange. Yeah. Yeah, everybody. So those are the little things that I notice.
Stick's looking at everybody's hands.
I do. I'm an observant fella. And Fish, you got great hands, buddy. You're welcome. Thank you for the thumbs up on that. So, yeah, we just wanted to talk about Devontae Smith and how great of a guy he is and how valuable of that type of spirit can be to a team.
Well, I hope a lot of younger kids, or especially younger receivers, they're just watching that. And when they go out, take care of your people.
Yeah, definitely take care of your people.
Would you guys want the Lions to draft them?
Oh, God, why would you have to ask that question?
We were having such a good show this morning.
Another wide receiver in the top 10? You know what? I don't hate it, but I don't love it. You know, it's one of those things, like, if they drafted, I'd be like, all right, you know, let's see how this plays out. Kind of like the Hawkinson pick. I wasn't mad at it because he was the best available tight end. Everybody was gassing him up that he was going to be the next Travis Kelce. I was like, all right, we'll play this out. And that turned out okay. But, you know, I lived through the 3 wide receivers in 3 years experiment, and then Titus Young in the second round. And it's just like, you know what? If you go down the list of wide receivers that are in the league right now and top-end wide receivers, not many of them are top 10 draft picks.
Yeah.
Like, off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
It depends on what the general manager wants to do, I think. If he decides to let Galladay walk, which would not be the greatest thing to do,
right,
and doesn't re-sign guys like Jones and Amendola, which I don't think he will, I think drafting a wide receiver as talented as Smith would be an okay move.
Yeah, I think if we get an Eric Bieniemy coming in, like, we need a Smith. because he's going to use him like Tyreek Hill with that speed and, like he needs that player in his offense to be explosive, take the top off the defense because that opens up the tight end over the middle. That just opens up a ton of things for them. So I do think it's kind of coach specific,
For me, unless we're going offensive line, I'm against going anything on offense. I think that they need to go strictly defense again. The reason for that is I'm going to go back to the Adrian Peterson comments where he said that he would like to stay here, but he doesn't want to stick around for another rebuild. I really think that just to kind of like my interpretation of what he was saying is we need to go ahead and get some more playmakers on the defensive side of the ball because we've seen when Bevel took over, the offense can score.
Yeah.
The offense can score, but Stafford needs that defense to be able to give him some reprieve and not be on the field all the damn time. So
yeah. And yeah. Sorry. I'm just thinking about the whole season right now and like what we need and how much there's just so much to address. It doesn't matter who we draft at 7. It's not going to solve all of our problems.
Right.
So the first step is making sure what we're going to do with Stafford, and then we can go from there. Because if we're getting rid of Stafford, we need to spend a high pick on a quarterback. We need to get that position taken care of. Play Chase Daniel for a year for all I care. Let someone learn the offense. But if we're keeping Stafford, okay, we get him Devontae Smith. That's a nice little weapon to have. Right. I wouldn't mind that. You have him and DeAndre Swift. Now you're starting to look pretty dangerous on offense.
Rebuilding the offense, going younger.
But that being said, we were record-setting, like, third worst defense in the NFL ever this year. So may want to address the defensive side of the ball.
And again, not trying to be all like, oh, I was at the Lions game, but
you were though.
But
Corey.
I was.
You should be like that.
But I was, and watching what Tom Brady did to the offense on TV is probably one thing. Actually seeing it is just like, yo, he's really out there just playing practice.
Yeah.
It was
a scrimmage. Yeah, it was a scrimmage. Fish, get up here real quick. Who do you think the Lions should be drafted at number 7?
I like what David said.
What did David say?
Kwity Paye.
Oh, Kwity Paye? Yeah, people love him. Who do you think the Lions should draft, Fishy? You like that? All right.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really have good wide receivers, but don't really know if they're very reliable.
Right. And we don't know if we're going to keep Galladay this year, if they're going to franchise tag him. Marvin Jones, we don't know if we're going to keep him either. I think of the two, I like keeping Jones as a better option. I mean, Galladay is going to just demand more money, and we've seen without Galladay, Jones is a good number 1 wide receiver.
You want me to go bold?
Yes.
Zach Wilson.
You like that pick at number 7.
I like it because I don't know how long.
Where's Adam?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Adam to come in here and tackle you.
I'll be fine with that. I like him because I think if we can get Stafford.
Go ahead. Mic 4. Turn mic 4 on. Oh, okay. You're on.
I don't know how long Stafford has left.
Okay.
Or whether he's staying this year.
Right.
So get a quarterback in there. And he seems like a good guy because he's under the radar. He's not a person that the first 6 teams may go after.
Right.
So throw him in there, and if he works out, he works out.
I've seen some mock drafts have Zach Wilson as the number 2 quarterback off the board going to the Jets. Do you think he'll last till 7 for us, Fish?
I don't know. That's why you throw him on the radar.
Throw him on the radar. But that would be your first target at the number 7, or your bold move at 7.
Yeah, I'd say if he's there, you pick him because Devontae Smith probably will go before Lions.
Probably, okay.
So in that 1 to 6.
Yeah, I've seen mock drafts with us taking Waddle, the secondary wide receiver from Alabama, at number 7 because Devontae Smith will be off the board. But yeah, what do you like about Zach Wilson, Fish?
He's a good quarterback, and
Okay.
he's not talked about a lot. Maybe because he plays on BYU.
Yeah.
But I just like him because he's not as talked about.
Yeah, and
So you go for those bold picks.
And I'm always a fan of guys at smaller schools that elevate the entire program. Like, especially in basketball, those guys are like, you got Steph Curry at Davidson. Davidson's not a great program, but he elevated them to national championship contenders. When Dwayne Wade was at Marquette, like, nobody heard about Marquette basketball, but then it's like, oh man, this dude is elevating this entire team to making a run in the playoff or making the run in the NCAA tournament. And I kind of see that with Zach Wilson. Like, nobody's elevating BYU football, but this guy's kind of putting them on the map this year.
Yeah. And I think he'd be a good bold pick. See if he works out. I hope it works out.
All right. Fish's bold pick. I
and
like it.
If it doesn't, blame me.
All right. We will, Fish.
I'll just say this. I hope the Lions don't do what they did with their last 2 picks from BYU and let them leave. And Kyle Van Noy and Ziggy Ansah.
Yes. We have not had good luck with BYU picks. They've had good luck
They've had good luck when they left. They went ahead and rose to their potential.
Did Ziggy get a Super Bowl?
Ziggy didn't get a Super Bowl.
Okay,
but
Van Noy did.
Van Noy didn't just get a Super Bowl. Van Noy left from barely getting any clock here to going to New England and immediately being a starter.
Yeah, we traded him to a team because he fit their defensive scheme, and then we took their defensive coach and brought him over here and didn't have the guy we need for the scheme. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful move by Bob Quinn. Love it.
What was his name again? The former coach of the Lions?
Matt Patricia?
Don't know if I've heard of him.
Yeah. You could forget about him, Fish.
Okay, cool.
He's nobody.
Sounds good.
Yeah, he's nothing.
I'd love to do that.
He gone now.
Gone.
I love when Fish gets snarky like that. Alex, who are you taking at 7?
Well, speaking of linebackers and Kyle Van Noy, our linebacker room is really bad.
Yeah.
So
Trash.
Micah Parsons out of Penn State, I like him. I think he's a good pick.
Any linebacker out of Penn State is usually a good pick.
If anything, it's safe.
Right. It's a linebacker university, man. That's one cool claim to fame that Penn State has. Much cooler than the Jerry Sandusky claim to fame. No? Nobody? All right. Nobody on that one? Okay. All right, we'll move on. So, yeah, I hope the Lions make a smart pick at 7. I hope we get the guy we want. I wouldn't mind a Zach Wilson, even if we keep Stafford, to give him that time to grow. I would love if Justin Fields fell to us, but also, like, my heart's saying, dude, your defense is historically bad. Do something.
It's like, again, I don't think anything is wrong with the offense. I mean, also, too, we were talking about Marvin Jones. What about Quintez Cephas?
That's my boy.
I mean,
I think he's going to break out next year.
Yeah. So we got Hawkinson. Bryant was looking good when he got some burn. I'm wondering where he came from. And
Yeah.
I think we need to go defense.
You know, we were talking earlier about the Notre Dame guy who was saying that the charges against him are false for that, felonious voyeurism.
They all say that.
They all say that. Well, actually, Quintez Cephas got charged by 2 girls in Wisconsin, and they kicked him off the team and whatnot. And it turns out those girls were lying their ass off. And he had text messages proving it, to the point where the jury apologized to him during the sentencing, saying, I'm sorry you had to deal with this, because it took him a year out of Wisconsin, and then the reinstatement, takes time. You lose time with your team. You lose time with your quarterback. For those reasons alone are the only reason Quintez Cephas slipped in the draft. Nothing to do with in-game performance, nothing to do with productivity, but it was this false claim that ate him up. And he literally had text messages of these girls committing to a threesome and then saying that he assaulted them.
I gotta preface this correctly. I empathize with people who are, victims of stuff like that.
Oh, of course.
Of bad situations where guys leaking their photos and putting them out there like that.
Of course, we all talked about that.
But when you lie on somebody else like that, and it affects their livelihood,
right?
You need to face some type of stiff penalty as well.
I think stiffer than anything, because not only are you hurting the person you accuse, you're hurting real victims who are afraid to come forward, because it's like, well, Duke Lacrosse, another great example. That chick destroyed 20 lives, out of nowhere. Then they did the investigation, found out she was lying. But by that time, these kids are out of college.
The damage is done.
Their lacrosse whole schedule was canceled. So it's those type of women who make it harder for actual victims.
Exactly.
So if anybody should be mad at those types of women, it's the women who are pure victims.
Exactly. I agree.
So that, honestly, I don't love the Quintez Cephas story, but I like how he's persevered.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for him as a man for enduring that, because it would have crushed me. I know it would have crushed me, because I'm not the type to sit back. I would have gone on the attack if some bitch was accusing me of something I didn't do.
Yeah, he played his hand correctly, because I definitely would have been very demonstrative in proving that I was innocent.
Yeah. So Quintez Cephas, we're looking forward to seeing what he does next year. I really am.
Me too.
And selfishly, I got him on my dynasty league, so I got him for 4 more years in fantasy football. So let's go, Cephas!
We should be talking about this draft pick. This
What?
is really simple. We should do a GM before coach.
GM before coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
No one's talking about that.
Yeah, do you think it's weird that they're trying to go coach before GM for the Lions?
Yes.
Why?
Why do I think they're doing that?
Why do you think it's weird? Or what do you think the problem is with that?
Well, because they could bring a coach in, then they bring the GM, and the GM doesn't like the coach, so they already have bad blood. That doesn't sound smart.
It doesn't sound smart, does it, Fish?
It does not.
And I don't know why they're doing that. And I don't know why Rob Wood put out the quote that said that they were going to do that. Alex, did you see that quote?
Remind me.
Rod Wood saying that they may go coach before they go GM for the Lions if that plays out that way. I think that's the dumbest thing you can do.
That also makes
It
GMs
kinda
not
makes
come.
sense.
Right.
The coach is who puts in the system of the team, and the GM is obviously who puts the players in the system. So it depends on, if the Lions are trying to do this whole culture thing again, like Patricia was doing with like the Patriot culture. But again, I don't really want like another Patriot culture. It's just It depends on it. We don't know what's going on.
I absolutely hate the idea. Like, there's structure for a reason. There's a hierarchy for a reason, and you got to report to this person. Like, that's the way it's supposed to be. And you need your GM to streamline who he wants as a coach, because if their visions aren't aligned, your whole organization is out of whack.
I'm not gonna say I agree. I'm just gonna try to analyze it from maybe their perspective, what they could possibly be thinking by going that route. They hired Bob Quinn, and he had his vision of how he wanted the team to look like and the players that he wanted to draft and the coach he wanted to draft. It was a total, complete failure. And when Adams, I know Adam might run in on this one.
Uh-oh.
They had a winning coach in Jim Caldwell who did not agree with Quinn's philosophy, and when Quinn installed his philosophy, it ruined the franchise. So I guess they're going to go like, we're going to get the coach that we want to have the identity of the team, and whoever the GM is, you're going to go get the players that's going to fit that coach's mold and his mindset and his makeup of the team. You're going to work for us, but you're going to work for him.
Right.
In the best interest of him instead of your own philosophy.
Man, do you think Quinn's kicking himself in the ass for the Caldwell thing? Like, because he would probably still have a
Absolutely.
job at least for another year if he brought back Caldwell, and then, okay, they go 8-8, they go 7-9. Now you get rid of them on logical terms instead of, oh, we've won for 3 years out of 4? This isn't good enough. We're the Lions.
Here's where Quinn would still have his job. If he brought Caldwell back for one more year, and Caldwell had a bad season, then he got rid of him. Because then you're like, then you can justify like, okay, we had 2 back-to-back seasons that were inferior with the talent. We got rid of the guy who was not producing, brought in my guy. It didn't work. Now let's bring in somebody else.
Right.
But the fact that you fired somebody who was winning to bring in your guy who undid everything is the reason we have this historically bad defense, and you're a defensive guru.
Genius. Because
you traded away all of your top players. Yeah, now you got to go.
Yeah, bye-bye. See ya. And I'm glad they're gone with that. So let's stay on the Lions for a second. So Calvin Johnson, obviously he made it into the next round of Hall of Fame voting. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any doubts about that. What do you think?
I'm mixed on it.
Okay.
I'm mixed on it for a reason that has nothing to do with Calvin Johnson.
Okay.
Do I think Calvin Johnson has everything that you would believe him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Absolutely. The stats are there from his time that he's played.
Right.
And, just judging it against other receivers who have played that length of time. Calvin is a Hall of Famer. Where I disagree with it is, if he's gonna get in not necessarily based on his stats. He's gonna get in based on because he's likable, and I think the NFL I think the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be based strictly on your stats.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that T.O. had to wait all those years when he retired as like in the top 3 of all of those categories, that did kind of bug me. So I'm like I said, if he gets in, I'm happy as a fan, but it's just kind of like, all right, what are we really doing as far as the Pro Football Hall of Fame is like there's inconsistency on when they choose to let guys in and when they choose to let guys
that's
away.
what happens when you let humans vote. They're gonna have their implicit bias,
and it's trash. It's like I said, there's nothing against Calvin. If he gets in, I'm not gonna be like, well, Calvin shouldn't have got in because T.O. got in.
Right.
It's just like the consistency is gonna bother me.
I think Calvin had a better career than T.O.
Really?
Yeah, T.O. had to bounce around and this is all we're talking about again. He had to bounce around to get all his stats. He wasn't a mainstay on any team. Obviously, he had more success in the playoffs and stuff like that. But to me, Calvin it's Jerry Rice and it's Calvin Johnson in my eyes. Randy Moss is in that conversation too. Those are my top 3 of my lifetime that I've witnessed play. Calvin was unstoppable. I mean, they literally would put 3 DBs on him at the line of scrimmage, and he would still get the ball. You don't see that.
You
don't. And the fact that we got to witness that in real time, to me, I may be drinking the Kool-Aid because I'm a Lions fan, but to me, he's a pure first ballot Hall of Famer. And Mike Broadwell, the guy who works here, said he's not even a Hall of Famer at all. I was like, how? How is he not a Hall of Famer at all?
Okay, my hot take wasn't that bad.
Okay, it wasn't a hot take. It was like, okay, we can't even have this conversation.
Yeah,
because we're not basing it in reality.
Yeah, no. Calvin is. How can you watch Calvin play and not think he's a Hall of Famer?
I don't know.
Haters gonna hate.
We can have that conversation with him later on today.
I don't know how. I won't be able to wrap my brain around it.
Fish, what do you think about Calvin Johnson?
He's a Hall of Famer.
First ballot?
Sure. Go for it. Yeah.
I mean, to me, there's 3 clear first ballot Hall of Famers on this. You got Peyton Manning, you got Charles Woodson, and Calvin Johnson. It should be easy. We've all watched them play. We all know they're all-time greats. If you started any franchise with any one of those guys at your core position, you're going to be ecstatic. So, to me, those are the 3 that should make it in, no problem, first ballot Hall of Fame.
I agree. Yeah, I'm with it.
Should be.
Should be.
Should be.
See.
Adam's listing his stats in the comments. So, yeah. Calvin Johnson, they're going back and forth on that. But to me, first ballot Hall of Famer, not even a question. And so let's get back into – I love this story. We were talking about pictures earlier, naked pictures. There's a UFC fighter, and he's married to this young lady. Her name is Paige Van Zandt. Have you seen these pictures? It's a couple photo shoot they did when they're both naked.
Yeah, I happen to see those photos and but little risque.
But not only naked, it's like standing 69 backwards. It's really weird. You got those pictures, right, Alex? All right, throw both of them up because when you see one with the girl in the front, it's like, oh, that's kind of cute. Then you see the one with the dude in the front, and it's like, this is a very, very, very strange picture. Yes, Art, I know. She's not in the UFC. No, look at this picture. And then go to the next one. That's cute, right? But his junk is right on the back of her neck. And then the other one, her lady parts are on the back of his neck. And I'm just wondering, how fucking bored are you around the house to set up a camera and you and your wifey go do this picture?
This was 39 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, but it just now went viral.
Yeah.
It wasn't on my radar till I saw it in an article, and I was like, this is a very strange photo shoot for a couple to have.
They got the attention they wanted.
They did.
Got more attention for this photo than their in-ring work.
But these photos are just so weird to me.
I want to know what's the inspiration behind it.
That's what I'm like. What's the backstory? Hey, honey, what are you doing right now? Oh, nothing. We just got done eating dinner. You want to get naked and hop on my back and grab my junk and put your shit on the back of my neck? Yeah, let's do it. I really got to understand how this came to be.
We should interview them.
We should interview them. Fish, do you think you could contact them and get them on the show?
I'll certainly try.
All right, that's your job for today, Fish, is to get them on the show.
All right, got it.
At any
see
time.
what I can do.
Yeah, you got a whole year to make that happen.
Shout out to their core strength, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. To hold each other up like that, I guess. But whoa.
I just, I kind of want to remake that shoot with me and Adam.
Y'all have fun with that one.
No, you're the photographer, bro.
Y'all can write me up.
You're
I can't
Mr.
do that.
I'm behind the cam, not in front of the cam. So let's see what you got, Corey. Take these pictures, man.
I do not want to be the rude guy and take away such an incredible assignment away. I know Fish would want to do. So Fish, you can have that one all to yourself, my friend.
Fish, will you be naked on my back?
No,
Why not, man? You don't love me?
not like that.
You see the guy cleaning the windows behind you? What does it say on the back of his hoodie? Or on his hoodie? It's the Fish guy. See that? His name's Fish, just like you. And yes, we do
I just
keep
saw
it-
his truck driving down Woodward the other day. I was like,
The fish
I thought
cleaner?
Fish when I saw him.
Yeah. So, Fish, I'm glad your window cleaning company is doing well.
They're doing very good. We just got a pay rise the other day.
Did they?
Yeah, we did.
All right, well, let that guy know, okay?
I will.
So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about the funny, weird shoot.
But I want to get into this before we forget. What about Michigan?
Yeah, we got to touch on Michigan. Last night was supposed to be their toughest matchup of the season against Minnesota,
They
right?
look really
16th
good.
rate.
They did look really good. They not only look good, they look like the Bucks against the Pistons last night. They whooped that ass.
Hunter Dickinson, 28-8. Isaiah Livers, once again, I'm just really glad that he's back healthy from last year and everything like that. 14-7.
Yep.
Franz, 12-5-4. I mean, Juwan has got him. Juwan's got him looking good.
I mean, this kind of happened to them last year, too.
Yeah.
Weren't they, like, number one ranked in the country for, like, 2 days last year? So we've seen this out of Michigan before. Do you think this is sustainable? Do you think this is sustainable?
I don't want to be unfair to them there because they're 10-0. I want to say this. They have Penn State coming up on Saturday.
Yep.
And then they have Wisconsin next week. If they win, and they got Minnesota again on the 16th. If they out of those 3 games, let's say they go 2-1, or
Okay.
even if they go 2-1 out of those next 3 games, I believe it's sustainable.
Okay.
I want to see a more of a sample size we get against those ranked opponents and against the Big Ten opponents. So if they go to 2-1 the next 3 games. Yeah.
Now, Alex, I know your favorite thing to do is talk Michigan basketball as you go to Michigan State. Well, honestly, what do you think about Michigan this year?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch the game last night, so I can't tell you how good they look. But this is a common theme with Michigan and Michigan State basketball. They either start off really well and then start to tamper off towards the end, or struggle at the start and then start to, gain their steam the more the season goes on.
Right.
So when they play teams like Wisconsin, I'm talking about Michigan, when they play teams like Wisconsin and Iowa and they win those games, I agree with Corey that, but they could be for real this year. But I think Wisconsin and Iowa are Final Four teams this year, and if Michigan ends up playing really good games against them, then they might be in that conversation as well.
What do you think happens when Michigan and Michigan State play this year? Who's winning that game?
I think they play twice at Ann Arbor and Breslin.
Yeah, they play at Ann Arbor on February 6th and at Breslin on March 7th.
Okay, so I think they can split. Michigan State, I'm not going to sit here and say that we're better than Michigan right now. I don't think we are. We still had a tough start to the Big Ten year.
That's how Izzo does it, though. He always seems to start off slow and build a great team by March. Like, that's what Izzo is,
Yeah, that's what makes him a good coach. Is
Yep.
he realizes the struggles that his team has and the things they're weak at, and throughout the season he helps his team get better at those things. Except for turnovers, for some reason we cannot take care of the basketball for the life of us, which is honestly could be the downfall of us this year and stop our Big Ten championship streak. But I think we can split the pair on Michigan. I mean, we've had their number in previous years, but they've also, they played us tough, and I'll give them credit. They've had a good start to their year this season, and it should be. I'm looking forward to those games.
Man, the comment section's blowing up with everybody saying "Go Blue." What do you got to say about that, Alex?
I'll say go green, and
Wow, way to fight for it. I'll say go green, and yeah.
I mean,
Not necessarily breaking news because this was 15 hours ago, but the game on Saturday is postponed.
The Michigan game?
Yes, Penn State COVID issues.
Ooh, all right.
I didn't see that one. Oh, wow.
Thank you, Fish. You're always on top of it. I love you, buddy. I'm interested to see how these teams play this season. Izzo, it's always a slow build to be a great team for the tournament. He always stacks his schedule hard early to get the most out of his team and then builds them out from there. Michigan, just on a hot streak right now, man. These guys are rolling, and sometimes that momentum carries for the whole season.
And honestly, just in general, when Michigan and Michigan State played in any sport, no matter what the record is, no matter how good or bad each team is doing, I think that's always a pick'em game, because both it's when they see each other. I mean, even if you see it in football, records go out the window.
Right,
talent goes out the window. Right. If any game of the season they're going to play hard, it's going to be for that one football game or those two basketball games.
Yep. No, I agree. It's been a good rivalry pretty much my whole life, and it's gone both ways. You know, Michigan had their run in football early in my life. The Michigan State took it over for a bit. Now they're kind of on par again. And same thing with basketball. Like, I grew up with the Fab Five, and then Michigan State just became a dominant program for like 20 years. And now we're kind of back up into – it's kind of weird that the Fab Five vibe is back because Juwan Howard's back, but now they're kind of on par again. So – that's what good rivalries are. It's not one school kicking the shit out of the other school, because that's not a rivalry.
No.
You know? It has to be this good back and forth.
And I think as a fan of Michigan athletics, I will say the one thing I do not like about the rivalry is how a pocket of Michigan fans refuse to acknowledge Michigan State as just they only look at Michigan State as an in-state rival. No, they're more than just an in-state rival. They're your rival.
Little brother.
I don't really want to go into. I don't want to go into the whole little brother thing. It's just that they're your rivals. Deal with it. You have to acknowledge them. Both of you have success against each other. Yes, historically, Michigan has had more success, but in the past 2-3 decades, you have to really respect Michigan State as your rival. Just don't look at them as don't look at them as you would look at my school, Eastern Michigan. We're Michigan State is not Eastern Michigan or Western.
Earl Boykins back in the day, baby.
And George Griffin.
And the Iceman, baby.
Iceman, but
yeah,
that's just the one thing I'll say about Michigan. They have to respect Michigan State as a rival.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Corey, I just gained so much respect for you.
It hypes Michigan State up.
It does. It definitely does.
And that's part of the rivalry.
Yeah, good rivalries are fun to be a part of. So I'm glad we get to witness it. I'm glad we have a good in-state rivalry here. You know, a lot of states don't have that like we do. So it's fun.
Nothing better than Michigan State.
Nope, nothing better, man. This year, not so much. On Halloween, like, we went to Ann Arbor, and it was a damn ghost town.
And I pray I never see that for Michigan State week again.
Right.
I pray that, because that was depressing.
All right. Well, we're going to give away $100 right now. We said we were going to do it at the beginning of the show, and here we are at the end of the show. Now it's time to give away $100. Let's see. Tell me when to stop, guys.
Stop.
No. All right. We'll go right here.
Good pick, Corey.
Good pick, Corey. You can't even see it, Fish. Brian Lewis. Brian Lewis got $100 this morning.
Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot you a DM right after this. Normally, Joey facilitates that, but we will hook up Brian Lewis.
He's in Mexico.
Huh?
He's in Mexico.
Brian Lewis?
No, Joey.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Joey is in Mexico.
Do you know where in Mexico?
I think he went to Cancun.
Of course.
Of course. Yep. I went to Cancun a couple months ago.
So, okay, I know what you're doing, Joey, because my drink lady, she's in Cancun right now.
He followed your drink lady around. Everybody have a great, it's Thursday already? My God.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Like, tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is going to be a football heavy show, because guess what, baby?
Playoffs.
Yeah, one more time, Fish.
Playoffs.
Oh, it's such a good weekend.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 8 a.m. right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Baligian and Bell up next at 11.
Peace.